Journal entry number 43. It's day 43 since the Switch started selling. I haven't been able to find one yet. Every time they go up on Amazon or whatever, they sell out like really fast, and it's crazy, man. And my mental status has been diminished into a state of discomprehension. I don't know what's real anymore. My body has divulged into a mess of bodily fluids just everywhere. The bodily. I was born with glass bones and skin of paper. Every morning I break my leg, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep, or until I can find a Nintendo Switch. And that is the end of my captain's log.
Ain't that the truth? Da 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 da. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Blockheads. I am your host, as always, Johnny Boy. Here with, introduce yourself, please.
I'm this far away from the mic.
God, is this gonna be your new thing?
No, because I already stole it from another YouTuber, so I can't do that.
Oh, who would that be?
This is a guy named Digibro. He's got a Let's Play channel with his brother, and they say I'm this far away from the mic, so I can't do it anymore.
Oh man, we're already ripping somebody else.
It's a joke.
See,
it's fine.
I'm very uncultured, so I don't know these things. But...
No, you wouldn't know them anyway.
Nah, makes sense. Anyway, so we got a pretty special episode for you guys here today. We've got like a lot of stuff to cover. There's a lot that happened.
Of stuff.
There's a lot that happened. I mean, I think we should probably start it off with for the fact that. Well, when this comes out, it'll be after Easter, but it's worth noting that tomorrow for us is Easter, so that should be great. You know, we gotta remember the day that Jesus was brutally beaten and dragged off a United flight for the forgiveness of our sins. So many years ago.
That's
praise be with him.
That was a good meme. Good meme, mate.
Thank you. Thanks. I get that a lot.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff happened in the past week. We got the Star Wars thing. We got Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim. I haven't watched any of the live streams yet.
I didn't care enough. I was I watched the trailer. And I watched the Leia tribute. That was I'm sorry, the Carrie Fisher tribute. But to be fair,
it's okay. She's dead. You don't have to.
Yeah, she's gonna sue me.
Yeah. What else? We got Thor. Rags and Rocks.
Rags.
I was trying to make a pun. It didn't work.
No, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
It was kind of a pun. I mean, you did good.
We got United Flight Guy. Did the Pepsi thing happen in the past week?
No, we already talked about the Pepsi thing.
Oh, we did? Yeah, we
Remember,
did.
that was like in the thumbnail of the last
That's
episode.
True. That is true.
Which I'm not sure if anybody caught that or not, because like Pepsi recently changed their logo. So the one that we used on the thumbnail isn't their current logo, so it doesn't really look quite as iconic as the new one.
What do you mean recently? They've been using their most recent logo for like 10 years. I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of Pepsi, that's pretty recent, but...
Yeah, see? It's been around for... How long has Pepsi been around? Do you know? I mean, I
don't
really expect you
to know Coke's been around for like 120 years, but I think Pepsi's only been around since like the 50s, I want to say.
That's still a while, I mean...
To Google!
I mean, you can...
I wrote Pepsi.
Pepsi.
PepsiCo.
Pepsi
Bottling Group Company in Garfield County, Colorado. No, Google Maps. That's not what I wanted.
Bola. That's what it is.
Oh God.
What'd you do?
Oh, 1893. Oh, never mind. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, see, that is recently they changed the logo.
It was originally called Brad's Drink.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can see why they'd want to change the name, I guess. Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
And then in 1898, 119 years ago, it was Pepsi Cola.
Yeah.
So what about Coca-Cola?
They cut off the cola part, I guess.
And they shaved that off 60 years ago.
Maybe Coca-Cola stole the cola.
Oh, that's true.
And that's why they've got this whole rivalry going on.
Yeah. Coke started 130 years ago. They're the OGs. OGs. Oh gosh.
Oh,
OGs. Oh gosh.
Oy vey.
Sorry, well, you channeled your inner Jew. I was channeling my inner Midwestern.
I am a Jew, so it's not that hard to do for me. But yeah.
Yeah, when are you gonna get baptized again, Johnny boy?
I don't know actually. Hopefully soon. I can only imagine how fun that show is gonna be, but probably I don't know. I'll let you know in advance. I'll probably tweet about it. But
Okay, good. I want to see a live stream of
I'll
it.
keep you all posted. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna set up a camera on like a tripod in front of the
you should buy like one of those 360 cameras so that people can like look all around. Set up the camera like in the middle of the pond or whatever on a tripod.
Yeah, people can see all around. I don't even know who would be doing it to me. If I'll just do it to myself.
You just like YOLO and then you waterboard yourself.
Yeah. See, that's my secret.
The key to being baptized is to...
If you don't want to go through with it, just turn it into a waterboarding session.
Exactly. Stimulate
that problem,
the sensation of drowning, and then you start panicking. And then it's just like, bam.
You should just... Actually, what would be a nice little meme is if they baptized you and then, like, you're just, like, thrashing around in the water and they think you're dying. And then it's like, JK, bro, just a prank. And then, like, they forget all about trying to baptize you
like,
because they're all having heart attacks.
Jokes, bro. I got Satan in me. So
yeah, and then the water starts boiling. That's how it goes.
Pretty much.
So get ready, guys. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, but
almost as fun as my funeral.
Oh, yeah. But it's Easter tomorrow, so you're going to go to church.
Oh, definitely.
You doing
aren't
something
you?
for Easter? No.
Oh, man. Okay.
So I don't think I've ever been to a church
We're gonna
ceremony
have a gay old time tomorrow for Easter. Kind of like, you and I have gay old times whenever we record
every day.
Well, that too, but we didn't have to tell them that. But yeah, no, it's good. The Easter services are always so long, like they're just so long and hard and succulent.
Was that intentional?
Did you hear the last part of my sentence? I said, and succulent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured you added that part in like halfway through saying.
Yeah. No, it was intentional, kind of. I don't know. I think I might be drunk.
All right. Well, in that point, what are we gonna talk about?
Well,
we should probably talk about
today,
our
boys.
I guess we should probably talk about our weeks, right? Like what's
how was your week?
Oh, it's been
Good,
great.
sir?
We just had the PSATs.
Dropped something. Oh, really? We did that back in like September.
Oh, nice. Well, but you're a junior though, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess for us,
we still took it though.
I mean, we get a freebie in now, like April of sophomore year. We also had one available for like $15 last September, and another one available next September for another $15.
Well, doesn't like everybody take it at like the same time? I thought
Oh yeah,
did you
today.
not take it back in the fall?
Well, the thing is, you can take it. They give us multiple opportunities to take the PSAT.
Right.
Here, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we could have taken it back in the fall, but that cost $15, and I would have had to come in on a weekend.
Yeah. See, they don't even charge us for the PSAT.
Well, yeah, that's what they didn't do. Well, this is the freebie one we got.
Right.
So we didn't have to pay for anything.
You.
Because this is the time that was scheduled out for all the other kids in our school to take their standardized testing as well. And I tell you what, man, being a sophomore with our standardized testing year is great. You just have to take PSAT for 4 hours one day, and it's a half day. And then the next day, people are still taking tests, but you don't have to do anything.
That's not too bad. I remember I saw you tweet about that.
The thing is, though,
great.
What they tried to keep us in. They tried to chain us. You can't break these cuffs. I can't break these cuffs. You can't break these cuffs.
No, you definitely can't.
Yeah.
They're unbreakable.
So the idea is we were gonna take PSAT in the morning for like 4 hours. And then we'd have lunch, but they didn't have anything scheduled after lunch. So if we really wanted to, we could have just like left. But they're like, no, don't leave, or else like if you die or something, if you get swept up by a bald eagle, I guess.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. We're gonna be responsible, so please don't leave. And everybody left. So what they did the next day, since we weren't doing anything, they just had a bunch of lectures planned for us, including, I'll get to that in a second.
Oh.
They had a bunch of lectures planned for us in the morning. It's basically the same schedule, right? Or at least it was supposed to be. You know, we had like 4 lectures in the morning, then lunch, then nothing planned after that. So really, if we wanted to, we could have left at lunch. However, what they did last minute without telling anybody, or by anybody I mean like kids or parents, they changed it so that one of their lectures were going to be taking place after lunch time.
Really?
And they would be taking attendance then. So
to
to make sure that people would stay behind, or else you'd get an unexcused absence.
Yeah. Did that stop anybody?
No. Okay, so the fun thing about it is this part, A, that makes me mad because I wanted to leave and go skiing. B,
yeah. That's just you being selfish.
well, yeah, of course. Well, everyone didn't want to come back. B, the the seminar they had prepared was on PSAT prep.
Oh.
A day after we had taken the PSAT. So that made me more mad. So I just called up my dad. I'm like, hey, can I leave? And he's like, yeah, sure, I guess.
Okay,
Well, I mean, I told him to call in. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
there you
fun.
go then.
And they gave us a
But,
book, which is nice, I guess. But that's
Yeah.
besides the point.
It's still, I've got to take my SAT, actually. I just signed up for that last
fun.
week, I guess. And I'll be taking that, May 6th, I think, is it? Yeah, something like that. That's going to be fun, because I get to go in on a Saturday on a completely different campus in, like, another city, and I get to go take a test that I still need to study for. So I
Jesus.
can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, for our juniors, we like those 2 days that were blocked out, like that was for everybody in the school's standardized testing. So yeah, do you have to take the star thing that I've gotten 2,000 comments about on my Pumpkin Man video?
Yeah, I actually, this is my last year to take the star. I only have to take one. It's the history one, which is great because I've been learning pretty much nothing in history all year.
Okay.
Again, my teacher's like, oopsie doopsie, he's listening. Ooh.
Don't
How do I recover from this one?
That one, yeah.
I'll be fine. It'll be great. But that's the only one we have to take. It's just the history one, and history is easy for me, so it shouldn't be that hard, I should say. There we
All
go.
right. Quick, what was the
I doubt
cause
he's still
of?
listening to this show. It's fine. But what were you saying?
Quick, what was the cause of the? I was gonna try and think of something.
World War II?
No, that's.
World War
I was gonna try and do something like oddly specific, like really specific, like the Morrison Act of 1873, but I can't remember any of those.
Yeah.
So,
See, that's why we shouldn't even learn history. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Screw it. Yeah.
Even though I'm learning about. Oh, by the way, that's fun. In my U.S. history class, we have a project that's due on I think Wednesday, and it's we have to write a song or a poem about the Great Depression.
Good. What?
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
right? And like the causes of the Great Depression. We don't have to present. Well, if we present it, we get like
You
5
should.
points of extra credit.
Do it.
I am, because what I'm doing
thank
is
God.
I'm taking all the lyrics out of All Star and replacing them with lyrics about the Great Depression.
I
it's
hate
gonna be
you so much.
And I'm I'm gonna perform that in front of my class.
Did I ever tell you about my friend who can like sing? He can sing all of All Star in under like 30 seconds, like the entire song.
You've mentioned that before, but that
I
seems
need to.
really.
No, like I'm not kidding. Like he told me about that, and I was like, yeah,
like,
whatever. He would no, like he's serious. Like he did it for me, and I'm like, whoa, this is the type of talent that goes to the school. I'm surprised. I am taken aback by the talent that is in front of me. This is insane. I need to film it and like put it on Instagram or Twitter or something, or just have him on the show, and he could do it sometime because I need to show you. It's literally like. Like, there's an amount of talent that goes into that, because not only did he memorize the entire thing and knows it by heart, but he can also recite it in, like, a fraction of the time like that the real song. Like, how long do you think the real song is?
It's like 3 minutes 12 seconds.
Yeah, so it's like he somehow condensed it to like just like 30 to 35
These are the
seconds
skills that the public education system in America are teaching you. This is what everything in our education system leads up to. Being able to recite All-Star in 30 seconds.
Who says we need to reform the education system?
I know, right? That's crazy.
We got it going fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's a good guy. Other than that, I'm trying to think about what happened this week. I went to the hospital, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear about that. So, you died, I heard.
Yeah, I did die. Well, I wish. Wishful thinking, I know. But basically, this happened, I think it was Wednesday night. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know a little bit about this because I like to keep you guys updated, you know? I like to keep all my lovely babies updated on Twitter just to let you all know how my well-being is going. And basically, I was having a lot of weird symptoms on Wednesday night. Like, I was having really bad chills, like to the point where I couldn't even stop shaking. Like, literally, like I'm not saying like people on Tumblr where they're like, I can't, I'm shaking, Trump got elected, I'm shaking. No, like I actually could, like I was physically shaking and I couldn't stop, and it was kind of becoming a problem. And then like on top of that, I was really dizzy for whatever reason, like, and it just felt weird whenever I tried to like move. And then along with that, I also had some really odd like neck pains, which I'm still not 100% sure are actually related to that whole thing. I don't
That's
really
called
know.
a stroke.
I think I thought it was called super cancer. But yeah.
Mega cancer.
Mega cancer. Whoa. Radical cancer.
Right straight off hot off the presses.
Hot off the grill. Yeah. But no, I didn't really know what was happening. So, naturally, I took my temperature, and when I found out that my fever was at like 102, I just kind of accepted death at that point because like I never run a fever. Like it just doesn't happen for me. Even when I am sick, like it'll still stay normal. And so I was getting really concerned, and I was okay with the fact of dying.
You're the embodiment of that "guess I'll die" meme.
Yeah, that's pretty much me. Like I need to make that my Twitter like profile picture or something.
You should
put myself on that guy. That'd be great.
Guess I'll die.
I'm gonna actually do that. That's the Trump thing's getting old, but yeah. So I was thinking, maybe now I don't have to learn how to drive. I don't have to worry about living through the Trump presidency. I don't have to worry about the impending nuclear holocaust that's plaguing our nation. I guess that's good. I was like, okay, well. Fair enough. It's goodbye, everybody. But either way, we still went to go get it checked out. And naturally, this happened at like midnight because that's usually how the things go for me. So all the doctor's offices in our area were closed, so we had to drive downtown to the actual hospital. Like. This isn't something that I would regularly go to the hospital for. It's just like that was the only option, so we had to go down there. And so that was already kind of scary in itself. It's never comforting to drive to the hospital. It's just nice, relaxing drive down there to the emergency room. But we walked in, and we were greeted by one of the biggest men I've ever seen in my life. Like this guy, he was like, no, well, maybe not. He was like, he's 7'2", he's probably weighed like 450, He was like a wall. Like screw building a border wall. We could just have this guy go stand at the border and
just
punch
get a bunch of
Mexicans in the
hymns.
face.
Yep.
He was great. I mean, but he was like, what did he do? He asked me how much I weighed. And I'm like, I don't know. Underweight. I know that. And so I went to go and he measured, or he like saw how tall I was, which I'm like 5'5", which is very short for me and for somebody my age, I guess. And all that stuff. And then I went to the room. And we sat back there for like 30 minutes because that's usually how it goes. They don't really care, so we just kind of stayed back there for a while without being tended to. But that's kind of how it be, with America's health system.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, this is Trump's America. But
go back to Kenya.
Yeah, we were back there, and then like this Indian dude came in, this Indian doctor, which doesn't matter that he's Indian, just pointing that out so people can get a visual description of this whole situation.
And then he started doing the dance that
Yeah, he came in with a turban and a flute.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. He started playing a flute, and then like the snake started.
And then
coming
like
out
this,
of the,
the
trash
spirits, the evil ailments, the souls that were entangled in your body, just like escaped through all of your orifices. And
Yeah,
you're
they
like,
left. They're gone.
I am freed of this disease. I am no longer. I am a man of God now. And then you got baptized right there, because he also doubles as a pastor on the weekends.
They baptized me in a vat of plasma that they just had on standby.
Oh, lovely.
So now I don't have to get baptized, guys. No, but so he came in and he was really nice, but he was like overly nice, you know, like the nice that kind of freaks you out. Like he kept laughing at the end of all of his statements. He's like, "All right, now we are going to." I shouldn't do this accent.
10 out of 10.
He was like, "All right, now we are going to do a strep test." Okay, open wide. I was getting really scared. I was like, okay. And then, as you know, my gag reflex is horrible. So.
Yeah, you need to work on that, man.
Yeah, I know.
Just stick a popsicle down your throat, you know, and then you're like, you know, that's how sword swallowers do it.
You would know.
Yep.
Yeah, so I let them know. So I'm really bad, like when they swab your throat trying to check for strep or whatever, which is what he was going to do. I'm really bad with that. I'm just not. I'm not. I just, like, my body just rejects it, you know? Like, I can't help it. And I kind of told him, I was like, okay, so if I try to fight you while you're doing this, just know that I'm not trying to do that. It's not intentional. It's just kind of like a thing I do. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, it's fine. And so he tried doing it. And then, like, naturally, like, I just pushed him away. Like, what the second he tried to, like, put it in my mouth. And then he's like, oh, uh-oh. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, it's okay. And then he, like, called in 2 other nurses. And then they
held you down?
Yeah, they had to hold me down.
It's like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Like, ah! Wait, what'd you say?
It's like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You just get a bunch of male nurses just, like, holding you down.
Yeah. So it's like they're both holding my arms down, like, ah! And then he's like, ah! Hold still! And then, like, he shoved the stick in my mouth. And then, like, I was kind of I was craning my neck back to the point where, like, hopefully it wouldn't get too far back there because it's really uncomfortable again. And then while he was doing that, like, it was just like his hand was like all the way in my mouth, and then he pulled it out and he's like, oops, didn't get it, need to do it again. I'm like, yeah, it's not right. And so I did it again, and this time it's like it's like elbow deep into my mouth, and I'm just like kind of dying. All the blood's rushing to my eyes, and they're like holding me down in the process of this. And he's like, oh, almost done. And then he took it out again, and then he's like, okay, that should be good. And then they left. They did give me a can of Gatorade though, so that was nice.
Wait, a can?
Yeah, like a can of Gatorade. I thought that was weird. I didn't even know.
Wait,
they were
what?
selling cans.
Yeah,
weird, right? Yeah,
like little espresso shots or whatever.
Yeah,
Gatorade.
This
doesn't seem like a thing.
No, that's a thing. You can look it up, but it was lemon lime, which I also didn't know that was Gatorade flavor. Whenever we buy Gatorade for our house, it's always like the little miniature bottles, and it's usually like the blue kind. I don't know what flavor that is. I just call it blue.
Frost?
That's not a flavor. That's, yeah, sure. But
what? I'm looking up Google Images. Whatever.
No, I mean, like, that's what it's called. Yeah, but like, I feel like Frost
blue
isn't
flavor. Continue.
You know what I mean. I just call it blue flavored because that's a flavor.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a good flavor, mind you. But where was I? So he took it out of my mouth and then they left, and then they were gone for quite a considerable amount of time. I guess it takes a while for the results from the strep test to come in or whatever, but we were like the only people there. And at that point, like, and of course I couldn't like do anything on my phone while this was happening because naturally our room did not have any service, and I know that's kind of a mild complaint, but yeah, like, wow, I can't believe our hospital room didn't have any service.
Pay all these taxes.
Thanks, Obama. But basically after that he came in, and he came in with like 5 different people as well, and he made my mom leave, and then he was like, okay, turn over. I'm like, oh.
Well, he just slapped on the glove and he started lubing up.
Oh no! I would have just choked myself with my little band, my little bracelet they gave me. I just would have choked myself with that if that were the case. But no, so So they flipped me over, and I was like, oh man, wonder what this could entail. But then I was actually wrong, and they just felt around my neck for a little bit, and I was like, okay, because like I did tell them that my neck was having problems, and I wanted to make sure that my neck wasn't too stiff, apparently, because if it was, they were checking for what is it, meningitis, I think is what it's called, and if my neck was too stiff, then that's a sign of meningitis, I guess. And they wanted to make sure it wasn't that, because if so, then that's a whole other thing, and they would need to get me treated for something completely different. But luckily, it wasn't that. And turns out, after like waiting there for, we were there for probably an hour and a half. A lot of that was just spent waiting. But after all that, it turns out that it was just allergies. Naturally.
Jesus, 102 fever allergy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it was really weird. Like, I don't really understand why that happened. Maybe it's just because I was there so late that they're just like, what do we tell them? We don't really know what's going on. Just tell them he's got allergies and they can leave. Okay, good idea. I feel like that's probably something that could have happened, but
I have this friend who, over the course of like 2 years ago, he just got like every allergy in the world you can ever think of. Like, he can't have dairy, he can't have soy, he can't have what's another allergy?
This man
for food.
Milk.
Milk. Yeah, dairy.
Yeah.
What else? He can't have certain fruits. He
can't
have
be out in the grass.
That is true. Yeah, he can't have like processed wheat. Oh yeah, no gluten. He can't have like raspberries.
My mom used to be allergic to ketchup. Do you think that was the same for him?
Maybe, I don't know.
Who knows?
He's crazy. Whenever he eats something, like, I remember we went out for my birthday like 2 years ago to like this place where you can make your own pizza, and it was really cool. And I like stuffed like little bits of bacon inside my crust. It was super awesome. Anyway, they gave me a chef's hat as well. It was super cool. Anyway, so the point is, like, while everyone else was making their own pizza, we always feel sorry because like he orders. He's like, do you have a chicken breast I can eat? Because like that's one of the few things he can eat, right? He's like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, we have like this chicken. No, just can I just have like a plain chicken breast? Okay, dude. You know. Yeah. So what he does, it's the funniest thing, because whenever he goes to a new restaurant, he's like, hi, does this have dairy, soy? And he's like, wait, let me just get out my list. He's got a list. His mom has like a list for him. And like,
man.
You know, it's like you know, the list is like, it's a sheet of paper like the size of your phone, right? And he hands it to the guy. He's like, okay, oh wait, never mind. And then he like flips it down, and it like triples in length. It's the most hilarious. And at the very, you know, he's got like, you know, dairy, soy, wheat, you know, that gluten, all that, you know, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, all that stuff. And then at the very bottom, it has cashews? Question mark? Because they weren't sure.
Wait, they're still like, has he had a cashew?
No.
Do they know?
They don't know. So. This guy. And so
it, I guess
what we're actually doing for his birthday this year which was actually today. We got him a T-shirt that has the list of all of his allergies on it. And I think one of my friends actually started a GoFundMe. I think.
Are you kidding me?
To buy the shirt, though we already bought it. It's just to reimburse. You know.
How'd you get it made? Like, you just like.
I think he just slapped up like $30. You know, like, hey, $30 GoFundMe. I actually haven't looked for it. I don't know if it's still up. But of course, you know, we got $0, so we had to take it down. But yeah, that is a thing.
That is a thing. That's kind of amazing. I'm glad you can be there for your friend who's in such medical trauma that, you know.
Yep.
You can mock all of his allergies on a shirt. That sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, we've been doing that for years, man.
Nah, I don't blame you.
And the thing is, like, they just popped up out of nowhere. It's the craziest thing.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and then apparently he's going to Wisconsin or something this summer, and apparently they're all supposed to just like magically go away soon. It's just like the weirdest thing. It probably happened from like, you know, puberty hormones or whatever.
That's so weird. Something like that happened with my grandpa, actually, like where something just like comes up randomly and then goes away. It was like, I think it was his.
I found the GoFundMe.
Oh, you should put a link in the description.
Yeah, I mean, people could still donate if they want. It's
$100.
Totally. Wait, what?
Put it in the description.
Oh my god, yeah. Here, I'm actually gonna send you it on Skype.
Yeah, sure.
So
Anyway, but
here,
no,
yeah. Continue talking.
Oh, well, while we're on the topic, my grandpa actually, it was so weird when he went to England, I think it was, for like a few months, maybe just for a summer. When he went over there, he lost his entire sense of smell and taste.
Really?
Like, just over there. Yeah, and then, like, it was so weird. Like, he couldn't sense anything. Like he couldn't smell anything. He couldn't taste anything. And then when he got back to America, then it was back all of a sudden. So, I don't know. It's really... Yeah, it's those spooky Brits, casting their spells. But, all right. Let me check out this.
As you can see, the front of the shirt says, "Hi, I have allergies." On the back of the shirt.
Oh my god!
If you would like to read those out,
okay,
go for it.
He cannot have
anaphylactic. He'll go into anaphylactic shock, meaning he'll need like an EpiPen.
Yeah, he cannot have fruits, raspberries, strawberries, watermelons, cantaloupe, bananas. Should not have soy, wheat, tree nuts, peanuts, dairy/milk. Can have cheese on girlfriend's pizza.
Gluten-free.
Oh. Oh.
Continue.
Raw vegetables, carrots, and cooked vegetables are okay. Coconut, ginger, limited portion/frequency are pork, baby back ribs, bacon, gluten-free pizza, raisins, ginger, eggs. 3 at once is okay. Two
times a week.
Oh, 2 times a week. Okay. Milk, chocolate. Foods that are okay to eat: meat except limited, pork, fish, seafood, potatoes, vegetables cooked at least, 1 each day.
I think that's just his mom trying to get him to eat his veggies.
I got it. Okay, so it's like so like you just took everything from the list and put it there. Like you
pretty
didn't
much,
change anything. Okay.
Yeah. No, this is the exact format of the list.
Okay. Fruits except above. Gluten and soy free baked goods with egg. Okay. Cashews.
Yep.
And sunflower seeds. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. I also like how the whole thing is color coded. That's very helpful.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the original thing is color coded as well.
I almost kind of want to donate to this. It's pretty great.
I don't know why he put $100. Oh, but the thing about GoFundMe is that it doesn't have to reach its goal. So like whatever money gets donated gets put back into it. So if you want to donate to the cause,
hey, good. I might.
How far are we into this podcast? I want to see like what a good timestamp for this is.
30.
We're like 33 minutes in.
33, whatever.
I'm gonna put up a visual representation.
Yeah, we'll still put the link down below if you do.
Oh yes, of course.
Please do. Please help a neighbor out, and please donate to buy this shirt. And that would be great. But yeah, so that's my week. It was fun. I'm still dying a little bit. If you haven't noticed, I have been sniffing a lot throughout this podcast. Not because I got some cocaine here with me, although I wish that were the case.
Well, that's part of it.
Please take it. Oh, don't tell them. Come on. What happens in Guam stays in Guam, Alex.
Whoa,
Alex. Ah! That's Alex eating some Fun Dip. But anyway.
Oh man, Fun Dip's great, dude.
Fun Dip is so good. Anyway.
Especially when it gets into your nasal cavities.
Yes, I love mixing it in with cocaine. Makes it all nice and fruity.
Yeah,
just like me. But so just basically take a shot every time I sniff, and I guarantee you'll be blacked out within 30 more minutes. So. Anyway, other than that, what else we got to talk about today?
We should probably give an update on Shia LaBeouf, should we?
Yeah.
There is an update.
Okay. There's an update on He Will Not Divide Us. We need to go ahead and, might as well just turn this into a segment in itself.
Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. This one's going to be short, though, because technically it's not a He Will Not Divide Us thing.
I was going to say, if something happens this week regarding He Will Not Divide Us, I think we need to make like a jingle or something that we can start playing before we talk about it.
Hey.
Yeah, it'd be good. But anyway, continue.
So, technically this isn't a He Will Not Divide Us thing, but it's from Shia LaBeouf, Ron Coe, and whatever the third guy's name is. Those 3 guys that did He Will Not Divide Us. Apparently they've been doing like various art, quote-unquote, interactive art exhibits for the past few years. Remember when Shia did the paper bag over his head, I'm Not Famous Anymore? That was like the first thing they did together. The most recent thing they've done is each of them are going to be spending a month in secluded cabins in the middle of Finland.
What could go wrong?
And the only outside contact they have is through text messages. And so the whole interactive art portion of it is at the Helsinki, I believe, something like that. There's a museum, and in one room they just have like a diorama of like a log cabin, and inside, just anybody can walk in, and there's a phone there, and you can just text them. You can text Shia LaBeouf, and they'll just talk to you, right? Because that's the only outside information they have. So the real question is, how many dick pics are they getting?
If they can send pictures, that is. Which I hope, I sincerely...
They most certainly will be able to.
In that case, people are also going to send them, like, 4chan stuff that's going to trigger them, probably.
Oh, yeah, and the memes. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah, they're going to send some... They're going to spam Pepe memes.
Yeah. Now, of course, 4chan is, of course, interested because of the previous He Will Not Divide Us engagements.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they respond to this art thing, quote unquote. It's been up for 3 days as of this recording, so we'll see.
I can't wait.
We'll see if there are further
something's
updates.
Gonna happen.
Yeah.
Something's got to happen at this point, but it's gonna be great. I can't wait. Hilarity always ensues with our boy Shia. I don't know what we do without him.
Yep.
Just get him on the show sometime.
We should. It'll be an art project.
We'll have him on the same episode as Alex Jones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll just be. It'll be a debate.
I'm putting chemicals in the water to turn the freaking frogs gay.
Hey, you should get a T-shirt.
Oh, I bet
that has to be.
Assure you, that's a thing. Here,
turn the freaking
frogs gay.
T-shirt. Oh, there it is. Yep.
Wait, are you serious?
Obama turned my frog gay with chemtrails.
I want this. Oh my god.
Here,
I know this guy. Do you see that guy wearing the shirt while wearing the Make America Great Again hat?
Yes.
That's a YouTuber that actually voice acted for me.
Really? What's it? Who is he?
His channel is called Internet Comment Etiquette, and this is his website where he sells merchandise. So this is his shirt. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was in, I think it was the second Christmas special, like a year ago. But,
wow.
That seems like something he'd do. It's pretty great.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Alex Jones is a treasure to society. Anyway,
I forgot about one other thing I did on Thursday, actually.
Nobody wants to hear about your life, Alex. God.
This is a good one, though. I saw the best movie of the year.
No, don't talk too much about it. I haven't seen it.
Fate of the Furious.
Oh, man.
La Familia. It's all about the family, man. It's all about the family. But in this iteration, Dominic Toretto has gone against his family. The family. Yes, thank you, Bill Clinton. He has gone against his family, the most inconceivable thing possible, and to create the dumbest movie of all time. And I love it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it already has $1 billion in the box office.
Oh, it better. It deserves it. I mean, I will say, like, as ridiculous and stupid as the Fast and Furious movies are, the action sequences are so well done.
They are very well done.
Especially recently, like, a guy, like, that's pretty good, you gotta admit. Even though the film is horrible, like, it's pretty good.
Well, if you're going in looking for an actual, like, plot, don't. That's the bad idea.
Nobody's gonna do that.
That's not the right thing. If you're going in alone, period, that's the wrong thing to do, right? You gotta go in with someone else, or else you're just gonna be there in your corner being cynical and laughing at everything, right? You want to be there and everyone's going to think you're weird. You got to go there with a friend, a loved one, your infant, something like that. Someone that can laugh along with you. Yeah. Because when you point everything out, it is the most stupid. All the one-liners. They have this one scene. I'm not spoiling too much. It's in the trailer, where The Rock and Jason Statham are breaking out of a prison. And like but like before the prison break, they're like in their cells, right? And Jason Statham's like, I could beat you up easily. What are all those swollen muscles getting you? And so what The Rock does, there's like a concrete bench in his cell. He rips it out of the wall. This thing is probably like 300 pounds, or it would be. Also, it's cement attached to a wall, and he starts like pumping it. Like he's working out. He's just curling it. It is. Yeah,
and then he says the best line that I've seen so far.
Oh, yeah,
Again,
of
I haven't
course.
seen the movie yet, but it's like, "I'm gonna beat you like a Cherokee drum." And every time I hear that, I just cry.
Dude, when the credits started rolling, I applauded. I whistled.
Ovation.
That was the best movie ever. Oh my god.
I need to see it. I'm seeing it Monday, hopefully, if all goes well, and then we'll be able to go more in depth with this movie next episode. But I cannot wait. It looks so amazing, just judging by the incredible masterpiece it is. The trailer so far. I can't wait. It looks so good.
The thing about the Fast and the only gripe I have with the movie is that they said what's his name again? I think it's Sean Black. Okay, so a little bit of Fast and Furious lore for all of you guys. All of the Fast and Furious movies follow pretty much the same core group. You got Vin Diesel, you got whoever his girlfriend is, you got Paul Walker, who, well, not anymore. And I don't know, some other guy. Except for the third one, which I think it is the black sheep of the bunch for most audiences.
Is that the Tokyo Drift one, or is that?
But I personally, I'll get there. I personally find it to be the best film of the franchise, The Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Well, traditionally, we're talking about like street races in America, Europe, whatever, and eventually it becomes like this whole save the world globe-trotting thing. And the first few movies were just like about like an undercover cop in LA, and they like raced and almost got hit by a train and whatever. But Fast and Furious 3, Tokyo Drift, introduced so many. It took it to the streets of Tokyo. A rambunctious young Texan boy, much like yourself. He was actually 17, quote unquote. Well, he was supposed to be 7. So basically you. Yes, imagine Jonathan. He gets shipped off to live with his uncle, I think, in Tokyo, and immediately begins to partake in the underground street racing scene. But of course,
naturally,
as
you do.
In the tight streets of Tokyo, there's not a whole lot of space, so he has to master the drift. The Tokyo Drift, if you will. And using that, he takes down some criminal organization. I don't know. I don't really care. But it's the best. It's the best one ever.
It looks so good.
Before Tokyo Drift, the first 2 movies, they weren't really that great, honestly. Even as like the stupid action kind of thing, because the plots were, as stupid as the new movies are, at least the plot is coherent, more or less. But like for the old ones, characters were all over the place. They weren't really necessarily following kind of like, there wasn't like a through line, a chronological order to the first 2 movies. But what the third one added is this one Asian character who I can't remember the name of. I think his name is Han. And then what happens is they bring Han back for the 4th movie, which is called Fast and Furious. Originally, the first movie was The Fast and the Furious. This is the first one I saw in theaters, by the way. It's just called Fast and Furious. Yeah. When added, and I remember nothing about this movie actually, except for like this one snippet of one scene because I saw it in like 2009. So he adds this dynamic to the group, this coherence that turns Fast and Furious from a little tiny, kind of like LA DEA kind of thing to a globe-trotting adventure that has lore, right, and a chronological order. The chronological order to the Fast and Furious franchise is really weird because, like, apparently Tokyo Drift takes place like during the events of 7, but then like 7 and 8 are like a new trilogy. It's weird. But
it's messed up.
This Asian guy they add, he changes the dynamic because now they got more people coming in. They got people coming back to make new ones. And so then we have like a core cast for the next few movies. So, and then of course they add The Rock, best actor ever.
He's great.
Yeah, he's like the highest paid actor in the world.
Guy, I think.
Yeah, he's really awesome. I follow him on Instagram, of course.
Oh,
he's like the only actor.
Like followers.
He's the only actor I follow. That and Mark Hamill.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I used to follow Mark Hamill on Twitter, but
I don't follow him.
He's a pretty liberal guy.
Yeah, I had to unfollow him.
He's a pretty anti-Trump guy. So yeah. But like on Instagram, he just posts pictures, so that's nice. Anyway.
Yeah. So no, but I definitely plan on seeing that pretty soon. He said to go see it with a friend and stuff. That's why I'm gonna go see it with my
Adele.
Slave boy. It's gonna be good.
That is.
Wait, what did you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say Adele.
No, we don't speak. We don't use that language. We don't say the A word during podcast, Alex. You should know this.
Oh, I guess we haven't spoken yet, have we? Of her. Anyway, continuing.
Back to this, but speaking of Asian people, wait, unless you're done with the fast.
No, yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, that was still a nice little tangent. I like.
Mm-hmm.
I gained some Fast and Furious knowledge today.
Mm-hmm.
But oh wait, hey, my computer's about to die. Probably fix that.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm just gonna move into the next topic that we have here. Oh wait, speaking of Asian people, what could Jonathan be thinking about?
United Airlines. Okay.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yes. United Airlines thing happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have too much to say about this.
I don't have a lot to say about it. Really,
United is literally the most hated. Oh, I know. It's the second most hated company in America, behind only Comcast, of course.
But,
so
yeah, people really. I mean, it's not like, and all these people that are saying like they're not gonna fly United anymore. Like, shut up. Yes, you are. You're gonna fly whatever airline is $1 cheaper than the other one. You don't care.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm more likely to fly United now because I'm always up for an adventure.
Because they beat up Asian people.
Yeah, well, that too. Like, that's the disappointing thing, is that I have too much white privilege and I'm not going to get beat up.
Too much privilege.
At least I can see other people get beat up, I guess.
Yeah, it's you're being beat up vicariously through them. You're like,
yeah.
You're looking at them being like getting their skull caved in, and you're like, I feel for you, man. I'm there right in your shoes. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and then
as you're like sitting back, reclining in first class, like, bring me my champagne, flight attendants.
Yeah, I'm on my way to a job interview that when I walk in, they're going to give me the job immediately, you know, because that's how white I am. That's how this privilege stuff works. But,
your skin is so bright, you have to wear shades.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of how I am. I'm violently white. If you
violently,
you gotta wear like sunscreen to be in a car with me, because I'm like my own light source. I put off light. I'm so white.
Do you know what snow? Do you know what snow blindness is?
When the snow is too blind.
Well,
it makes you blind.
So like basically, yeah. Snow reflects like 80% of the light, or at least like when it's pure snow and it's not covered in dirt. Yeah. So what snow blindness is like when you go skiing or something, or you're like in a snowy tundra or whatever, and you don't have any sunglasses on. You're basically like looking into the sun. And it's really bright, so like if you don't have any kind of eye protection, you will go blind, right? Like similar to staring in the sun. My dad actually went snowblind for a few days.
I didn't know that.
When he was younger.
Wow.
But yeah, because he bought like cheap sunglasses.
Yeah. See, this isn't a problem that we have in Texas when we get.
But well, I mean, of course. Now for you, where you live, you don't have snow blindness, but you have Jonathan blindness.
Yeah, that's
where
the
like
thing.
people who aren't careful when you like walk into the room, and it's like, oh, it's like the gates of heaven like opening up, Yeah,
it's like that one scene from the SpongeBob movie where like the guy takes off his Neptune takes off his
yes,
and he's bald, and they're like, my eyes. That's how it is for me, and like I'm melting people's skin off and stuff. Mm-hmm. Just because I'm that white. That's how
you just leave a trail of carnage and goop in your path.
And yeah, that's how powerful my privilege is as well. is that
Yeah.
it burns other people's privilege off of them. That's how privileged I am.
You just like absorb it.
Yeah, I become stronger with more and more
you just
white
like put
people
your
that I
arm
encounter.
out. You just put your arm out and you're like,
Yeah, it's a superpower.
and you're just like
essentially.
absorbing their privilege, and it works
Yeah.
like twice as well on black people.
Yeah.
The darker their skin color is, the more effective it is
Yeah, exactly.
at absorbing their life, their privilege essence.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it goes, you know. So, you know, if Marvel needs a new superhero, you know, hit me up, and we'll get that squared away. But...
That conversation would make a great Blockheads animated, by the way.
Oh yeah, I definitely would. We've actually gotten some people messaging us saying like, "Oh, well, I'd like to make a Blockheads animated, but I don't know what part to animate." Well, there you go. There's a part.
Yeah, in general, Blockhead. I mean, this goes for like stuff like, you know, animated stuff from stuff like Game Grumps or other podcasts in general. At least in our case, Blockheads animated, or you know, even these kind of animation styles in the first place, the best clips to take to kind of like recreate in your own image, with your own animation are like when we're either telling stories about something, or like we're describing something, or we're like posing a scenario.
Yeah,
or we're just like making constant jokes about something.
Yeah, and even like it. Well, if the Doctor story I told earlier was shorter, maybe that would work. But I feel like the fact that it went on for like a few minutes, I don't think anyone's gonna want to animate that. So,
but even still, like you don't have
that would be an example of something, you know, something along those lines.
You don't have to limit yourself to like just taking like one clip from an episode. No. If we have like a scattered conversation about something, you could just like cut out those clips and make kind of like a through line. I think Chris actually did that for the Welcome to Guam thing. He kind of like jumped around a bit because
I think
to avoid like stutters and uhs and boring parts, to kind of like keep it going.
I think, did FaZe do that for his?
I think well, I don't think so.
He may have. I'd have to go back.
But his was pretty short, so it really.
And he actually didn't even do stop motion. You don't have to do stop motion if you're comfortable with like doing some other like 2D animation style or whatever, which I don't know why you would be, but if that's your thing, you know, go ahead. Yeah, that sounds great. We welcome any type of animation or fan art that comes our way. So it's always very nice of you to do stuff like that. But yeah.
And Hoozle. Yep.
I'm trying to think what else happened. I guess we could talk a little bit about the Thor,
my boy,
trailer. I know you got a lot to say about this one. Ooh.
Oh, I knew it. I told everybody. Everyone doubted me. Oh, I don't like Thor.
I was like,
oh, Thor's stupid.
Thor
I don't care about Thor. The first movie was alright, but who cares about the second one? They were just teleporting.
Who cares about Thor in general? He's boring. That's me. And I still feel that way.
Knew it. The second I heard Thor Ragnarok was gonna be like space, World War Hulk, like buddy cop kind of thing. I knew instantly. I'm like, boom, this is a winner. This is the dark horse.
What you gotta do. Yeah.
This is the dark horse of the 2017 superhero movies thing, and I was right. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it just wasn't a good trailer with what's the band's name again? Led Zeppelin in it.
Oh yeah. No, it was very good. I thought
the
music fit very well.
Real talk though. That was a great trailer.
Such a good trailer. It
Especially,
was actually very well done.
Especially at intriguing a lot of people's, you know, kind of like interest in bringing a lot of people in, because a lot of people, you know, have lost faith in Thor. It's a lot of people consider it to be the weakest portion of the MCU, which is fair as it stands now. But with this third movie, I think it can be pulled back into greatness.
I think I've never cared for Thor at all. Like I saw the first movie, I never saw the second one because I didn't care. Like
you don't need to. You just need to know there's an Infinity Stone in it, and it's like the thing of power or whatever.
I know Loki like dies in it, but then doesn't, and then like all this blah blah because Marvel doesn't want to kill anybody off, but. No, but
he did something to
always
Odin,
been like I've never hated. Wait, what'd you say?
He did something to Odin though. Anyway, continue.
Oh, whatever. But I've always like Thor's just kind of been there. Like I've never really cared for him, and I think a lot of people kind of agree. It's like his movies are just kind of okay. He's kind of an okay hero. He's everybody's least favorite Avenger compared to like Iron Man, Captain America, even Hulk. People like more than Thor. It's not uncommon. Mm-hmm. So I guess with this movie, they were even more motivated to make it more awesome than any other Thor movie they've made, any type of thing that they've produced. And I think if the movie is anything like the trailer, they've definitely succeeded. It's gonna be great.
And the director of it, Taika Waititi, maybe. Hopefully I'm saying that. Yeah. He's from New Zealand, so. But he's got a really good sense of humor. Like. When he tweeted out the trailer, he's like, here's the 2-minute version of my next indie film, and it's Thor Ragnarok. He's also the guy that directed the Civil War Thor, both of the videos, right?
Really?
And so you can kind of see, like, this guy has a sense of humor, and I think that's what the Thor franchise, needed, because the first 2 Thor movies are pretty bland, to be fair. I mean, you have like the grand kind of Kingdom of Asgard and whatever, but.
They're fine. They're not bad.
They're
fine.
fine. They're not bad. It's just they're kind of lacking in that kind of essence, something that really makes it feel I don't want to say lived in, but like makes it feel like it has some kind of value, I guess, like something's happening.
Like you actually care about the plot, you care about what's going on, the characters. And I actually think, if this guy can bring in humor and just kind of anything sort of different to this movie, then it's definitely going to be a win for Marvel. And I definitely have high hopes for it now after the trailer. Like, again, I didn't care for this movie at all, like, while it was being made or anything like that until the trailer came out. And now I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to see this. This looks great.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. The colors look so great as well. I just want to point that out. The colors look amazing.
Yeah. There's a great video that a lot of people have seen. But it's from this one guy doing a movie analysis of why Marvel's movies look kind of ugly, And that's actually something I've noticed as well. Like, they're all kind of washed out for the most part. And there's not a whole lot of color. And I think in the video he said it was because they were using like a certain camera, and with the color grading they were using, I don't know, it just kind of like felt. I mean, I don't think it didn't work. The thing about all the Marvel movies is they all look the same. Except for Guardians, kind of, but anyway. But I think with Guardians 2, definitely, they switched over to a different camera, and that seems very evident because Guardians 2, very colorful movie.
Yeah, it looks great as well.
That's
one thing. Also, well, what were we saying?
And this movie looks quite colorful as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And in fact, Spider-Man looks pretty good as well, I think.
Yeah. The colors in that are definitely different from like Civil War or Avengers or something like that. But I was gonna say like this trailer, this actually looks like it could be set in the same galaxy or universe as Guardians of the Galaxy with all like the aliens and stuff like that. Did you notice that?
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, what is they mentioned in the Avengers, what is Asgard and the Asgardians? They're just a bunch of aliens, right?
Yeah.
So,
but they did a good job at making it seem like they're
the super advanced alien technology they have makes it seem like they're gods, and that they've been able to kind of like hide themselves and have their own separate kind of lore, I guess, from the rest of the universe for the most part. But of course, you have beings like Loki conversing with Thanos and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's good. It's definitely. I think this is definitely going to help in bridging some of the gaps that Marvel has and needs to set up for Civil War. Or I'm sorry, Infinity War.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because like Infinity War, that's when everyone comes together.
I know.
Except I don't know, the street hero stuff is still kind of up in the air. The Netflix shows on whether they're going to be included or not. I hope they finally get Coulson back because he's been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for like 4 seasons now.
I would whether you care, back.
Yeah, whether you care about the show or not, he's been alive for like 4 seasons, and apparently like nobody else knows.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch this show, but I remember seeing like the trailer for the show years ago when it first came out, and I was like, hey, Coulson's alive. What happened here? But so it'd be pretty great if they brought him back or whatever.
What they actually did with Coulson is really interesting as well. Anyway, at least
my
for
friend
the
got to meet Coulson. The guy who plays
that's all. Clark Gregg actually went to Denver Comic-Con last year.
Really?
And I was planning on getting his signature actually because I bought it like a Coulson Pop Funko, and it's right behind me actually. But sadly, the day we left, it was like halfway through the last day of the convention, so we didn't I didn't get to see him sadly. But I got to see what's her name? Carter.
Oh yeah, what's her face? I forgot her name.
Anyway,
I remember when you did that though. You posted
a
lot about that.
Really fun, and I'm going again this year as well. So that's gonna be cool. And they actually have Finn Jones from Iron Fist.
That'll be cool.
Coming, so hopefully we'll get to see him and a bunch of other people as well. Anyway, so for Infinity War, they need to bridge a lot of gaps. Asgard has been like its own thing, right? But now it seems like with this movie, Asgard's got like totally wiped out, right?
Seems that way. Yes.
And it's definitely at least partially Loki's doing, because at the end of Thor Dark World, you don't care, but
you're right.
But Loki faked his death, and but like at the end of the movie, you see like Thor, you see like Thor like reconnecting with his dad a bit, Odin. But then you see, like, as Thor leaves the room, Odin is actually just Loki, Loki in disguise. So clearly Loki has done something with Odin, and that is probably going to connect into the Odin Force in Marvel Comics, at least. Like, Ragnarok is like the end of all days, and like a giant serpent is like going to eat the world or whatever. I don't know how much of that they're going to keep.
It'll be interesting to see.
But I really like what they're going for here, because it's putting Thor in a different place than he was before. Like you said earlier, Thor really, he's just been kind of there for the most part. Not as much there as like, Black Widow or Hawkeye. But he's just been kind of like doing his thing, doing whatever Thor does. But now this puts him in a place we haven't seen him yet, where he's not where he's disgraced, I guess. Like Mjolnir gets destroyed, and he's got like all his powers stripped of him. It's I saw it on Instagram somewhere. It's reminiscent of like one comic. I forgot what it's called, but like Thor got like his arm lobbed off, and he got like a robo arm basically. And all his powers taken away, and he buzzed off all his hair to get like the haircut we see in this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really like where they're going with this character.
Yeah, I think it looks really good, but it's going to be definitely different from the last two Thor movies. I think that's fairly evident at this point.
I think regardless of how it turns out, I know it's jumping to conclusions, right? And we all know that trailers can be misleading. But I think regardless of how this movie turns out, it's definitely going to be better than the other two.
Definitely.
I think it's safe to say, because, I mean, granted, let's be honest here, the bar isn't set that high. Thor 1 was alright, Thor 2 was meh.
I didn't even like Thor 1, I found it boring. But
yeah, that's fair. So, I think regardless of what happens, this is at least going to be the best in the trilogy. So, that's at least a good sign. Also, Hulk is in there. I'm glad to get Hulk in a more focused position. Yeah. Where he's not like just a side character. He's like, I'm always angry,
He's finally back in the Marvel.
It's kind of nice that Marvel's at least acknowledging him more. And this is obviously like an adaptation, at least partially, of like World War Hulk. Giving him more attention since like the awkward thing of the Hulk movie that Marvel doesn't like to touch. Because Edward Norton and all that.
Yeah, we don't like talking about that movie, which I haven't even seen. Is it actually good?
It's all right. It's better than the 2003 one. Yeah. But the 2003 one, the CG just wasn't there for that movie. It was ahead of its time. But like the fights are really cool with Abomination. The one thing I found weird though is because like in the Marvel Netflix shows, you don't watch them, but they always mention like the event, you know, and they're talking about the thing that happened in Avengers in New York, you know, because all the Netflix shows occur in like Hell's Kitchen in Harlem and whatever. As like, I forgot what it's called. But the thing is, like in Luke Cage, which is based entirely in Harlem, they never mention the fight that Hulk and Abomination had in the middle of Harlem. Apparently, you know, that's just a thing that doesn't happen. So
Marvel doesn't like to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Bruce Banner, Hulk, getting some more screen time outside of just like a side character in the Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this could definitely be something good.
Also,
sorry, I'm just reading an email, but
also I plan on recreating this trailer. But,
oh yeah, definitely. I think people know that at this point. You've been saying it for a while.
Yeah.
Which it should be good. You know, you're challenging the old Hux on this one, but I think you could.
The only issue, or not issue, but the thing I'm worried about for this movie is there's just gonna be more characters we don't care about, you know, like you know, the villain. The villain's probably gonna be. I'm just gonna say now, the villain, at least from this first trailer, just looks like another Marvel villain, right? Doesn't look like anything too special, but I kind of like I don't know, just the way she's portrayed, and like the way she looks is kind of.
She looks a lot. It's very. I just think it's kind of cool, I guess. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty menacing actually, especially when she like blows up Mjolnir. In some kind of back alley, I guess. Also, I forgot Doctor Strange is going to be in this movie, at least in some.
Oh, is he?
At least in some capacity, yeah, because that was the after credits scene for Doctor Strange.
I have not seen Doctor Strange. So.
Oh well, yeah. Basically, like in Doctor Strange's house, like Thor was sitting down with Doctor Strange. He's like, if I remember right, he's like, yeah, I want to find Loki, right? You know, so. He's like, I think I can help you out with that, you know. Anyway, so he's gonna be in this movie in some capacity. The Collector, actually, which we've only seen in like
Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Guardians and an after credit scene in some other one of the other movies, or at least I think that's the Collector. It probably is.
Speaking of after credit scenes, I just kind of remembered. Do you think they're gonna do anything with like Howard the Duck? Because like he was in the after credit scene. For like, why did they put him in there then?
Because it's just like a throwback, you know. It's just like a funny thing, I guess.
Because like I remember at the time, a lot of people thought that like it could have been leading up to like him appearing in another movie or something like that. No. Which I'm really glad they're not going with, but still.
I want them to have Squirrel. Actually, they are making a Squirrel Girl show.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear about that.
With like Cracked or something.
With what?
It's like a network called Cracked or Crackle.
That, yeah.
Oh no, Crackle. That's what it's called.
I remember a lot of people wanted Anna Kendrick to do Squirrel Girl for that.
I think she'd be great.
Fair enough.
Because it's ridiculous enough and you know, skimpy outfit. But I mean, it's kind of like kooky and nutty enough that I think Anna Kendrick would do a good job. Nutty. Oh, yeah. That was unintentional.
My only concern is that if Anna Kendrick's in it, I might become a furry afterwards. So I don't know.
That's fair.
Who knows? But yeah. So we got that trailer came out, and then we also had the Star Wars teaser trailer came out for The Last Jedi. Which, how did you feel about that one?
Perfect.
Oh, really?
It is perfect.
I thought you were going to have a complaint about it, because I've seen a lot of people get mad at that on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, people think that they're like, wow, I'm just done with Star Wars now. This is just stupid. They're just ripping off Episode 5 now, just like they did with Episode 4 and The Force Awakens. I'm like, okay. You can't judge it that harshly just off of a teaser trailer, don't you think? Like, that's a bit unreasonable. I don't know how you're drawing that connection so early.
I've had a problem with this whole kind of like this kind of like counterculture against Star Wars now, because like Star Wars didn't used to be cool, right? Like up until I want to say Force Awakens, like liking Star Wars wasn't really a cool thing. But then Force Awakens comes out. Oh, everyone loves Star Wars, right?
Whoa.
You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people that are like, I actually had one guy in my computer coding class I'm just like, hey, can we watch the Star Wars trailer? And he's like, I haven't had any confident. I've lost all hope for Star Wars since Force Awakens came out. You know, I'm like, really, dude?
I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, there were some elements of the Force Awakens that did, come from A New Hope, and I can see where people would maybe get upset about that. But it wasn't like I don't think it was like a carbon copy of that movie or anything like that. Like, it was still interesting in its own way, I thought. I mean, again, I've only seen it once, so maybe if I watched it again, my opinion would change. But I remember enjoying it at the time. And again, I don't see how you can be done with Star Wars just off of that. Like, really? Like,
I personally think this is at least my theory. At least part of these people come from because now that everyone likes Star Wars, the cool thing is to not like Star Wars, right? And especially if you're gonna be like the edgy kid, you know, you're like, oh, Star Wars is lame, you know, because you're going against what is now considered mainstream, right? Yeah. Another thing is that, like, well, I think it's kind of the same thing, but like, you know, people who really like Star Wars before and are really nostalgic of the original trilogy, and I guess the franchises, you know, a whole, but mainly the original trilogy. And then, like, when Star Wars became popular, you know, more people joined in, and they're like, wait a minute, this isn't just my thing now. Like, even like uber norm. I mean, because everyone knows, you know, the Star Wars, right? Even before Force Awakens came out, like, everybody knew what Star Wars was, and a lot of people generally liked it, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a generally
and a lot of quote unquote normies, they at least know about it, right? But now, like, all the normies, like, everybody likes it, right? That's the thing. So I think a lot of people feel, you
got a handful of edgy teens that want to turn around and say that they're against it and they're done with Star Wars, even though we all know they're gonna go see this movie. Like, shut up, you're not done with Star Wars. You're never done with Star Wars. You're gonna go see the movie, and, you know, as long as they keep making movies, you're not gonna just turn on them or whatever. Give them money.
That and people who are so nostalgic and so protective of the original trilogy that they, like, anything that's not the original trilogy is bad, you know? Yeah. That kind of mentality.
Yeah, that's ridiculous to me. But, you know, no, I didn't really see a problem with the teaser trailer. Again, I saw a lot of people mad that it showed not enough. Like, that it wasn't...
You want to see plot points? That's not...
Yeah, I'm like, you don't want to see that much. Like, I think it showed us just enough for us to be excited about it and kind of get a feel for the movie. That's what I want to see, and I think that's what they did successfully. So,
I mean,
that's why I think. Also, the poster that came out with it looks
incredible. That poster is incredible. I have it as my phone
I should get it. It's that.
Yeah.
But,
it's the poster is gorgeous, man. I want to buy this thing so bad. Like, I remember when
buy it already? I bet you probably could.
I mean, I could probably find it somewhere, but, like, next time I go to Target or something, when it eventually gets made, they're probably not even going to start making them at least on like on a large scale basis. Like, you might get, like, some independent people just kind of printing it out, but at least probably not until the few months leading up to the movie, because the movie's 8 months away. But
you know, I can't. Yeah. I'm just glad
the poster is absolute. Like, I remember when the Force Awakens poster came out, I'm like, dude, that is awesome, right? And I wanted to buy that one. And I never actually bought the actual Force Awakens poster, because I went to Target, right? And they had like this key, because, like, they had like this poster section. They had this key where it's like, all right, so J12, this is this poster, right?
Yeah.
But apparently
the wrong one.
But apparently their system was wrong. I still got a Star Wars poster, but it was like one of the First Order and Kylo Ren, which isn't as cool. But I mean, I'm not gonna return it. It was like $5. But
do you have it up right now?
Yeah, it's like sitting right next to me, actually.
Yeah, I've got. I think, what do I have? I have like one with kind of all the characters on it. I guess I could send a picture to you later, but it's kind of hard to explain.
Is that like the main one?
Yeah, I don't know. It's also not like a poster. It's just kind of like a wall, like I don't know. I'm gonna take a picture of it and put it on the screen right now. Okay, keep in mind timestamp is 1:14:30, so I'm gonna put that, or you can put it on screen, because just to know what I'm talking about. But
right.
Yeah, I remember getting that as a gift for Christmas, I think it was, and yeah, it looks pretty awesome. But
like,
I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with that. But
anyway, but like, I mean, I love it. I love this poster so much. It just oozes style, and it's so different, you know, especially from a lot of other posters we see today. I love it when there are these kind of different movie posters.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so I think people are forgetting that this is a teaser trailer.
I know. It's like this isn't the trailer. It is the teaser.
You're
trailer.
not supposed to be getting like major plot points out of this thing. And honestly, I don't want major plot points. I'm gonna try and avoid as many trailers as possible, but I'm not gonna be.
That's actually what I did for The Force Awakens. I did it unintentionally. Like I didn't really care. I'll be honest. I didn't care for The Force Awakens up until seeing it, and then that's when I thought it was awesome. Afterwards, I just didn't I was excited for it, but like I wasn't like going out of my way to go see all the trailers and stuff like that because I felt like it would be better if I went into it knowing as little as possible. Like I had no idea who Rey or Finn were like going into it, and I think that made the experience better.
I remember like the 5 months leading up to the movie. I'm like, wait, what are these guys' names again? I just knew there was a black guy and like a girl. But as the trailers eventually, you know, came out, the three trailers, I'm like, okay, so this guy's that guy's that, this guy's that. These are probably connected in some way.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, the second a trailer comes out, so many lines and plot points and character relationships can be drawn. I really, and I think the Force Awakens teaser, when that came out, that was really good as well, because that didn't really show you anything at all, right? It's just like, what was the opening line?
Oh man, what was it? I remember because like I recreated it. What was it?
Yeah. We both did. Like a ton of people did.
Everyone did. I was gonna do this one, but like, I got my own stuff to worry about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do this one either.
I'm working on 2 videos right now. I guess. Well, 3, I guess. If we start writing that Guardians of the Galaxy parody that I talked to you about.
Yeah.
If you want, do you want to start writing that? Do you think tomorrow? By the way.
Yeah, sure. Tomorrow's good.
Pretty lit.
Making deals on the podcast.
Yeah, nobody's listening anymore, but no.
It's okay. Yeah. There has been an awakening. Do you feel it?
That was it.
That's it. And then it just showed like some characters, like what they look like, because we hadn't seen them before. Like these are some of the settings that have happened, and boom, there's the Falcon, right?
Yeah.
They need the Falcon to bring back the nostalgia, to bring back a lot of people that had lost hope after and a lot of people that were scared because of the prequels and stuff.
The Falcon kind of served as a symbol of hope, like, hey, we can still know how to do things right, but
right. But I honestly think this one was better because it showed less. It showed less. It basically shows that Rey is getting trained, right? Which we already knew. We basically already knew that.
Duh. Yeah.
And it shows that Kylo's still chugging along. Finn is recovering from his battle, right? In some kind of like medical pod, I'd assume.
Yeah. Poe and BB-8 are still there. Or whatever.
Yeah, Poe and BB-8, they're doing stuff.
R2's fine, you know.
Yeah, he well, I think that was a flashback though, personally. To
was it?
When the whole, I think that was a flashback to like when the whole Knights of Ren thing happened.
Oh, it could have been, yeah.
And then, but the good thing about this teaser trailer is that it gave something just meaty enough to ponder and really get you thinking about
just
the movie.
Thick enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's thick. The thing. Like it made everybody interested and ready for the next trailer.
This aspect is when Luke said, "The Jedi need to end."
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what?
Ooh.
Yeah. You know, that kind of thing. And I think he said another line, something like, look outside of light and dark, you know? Because that's something I've always been really interested in the whole Star Wars kind of canonical lore side of things. Like, you know, there's got to be stuff outside of, like, just the light side and the dark side, right? Like, that's just, like, the two extreme groups. What about, like, the gray area? I've always been interested in that. And I know they've, in, like, Rebels, they've had, like, this one being that's just, like, a Force being, and these, like, guardians of the Force that aren't necessarily good or bad. And I think they had a few episodes in Clone Wars as well about that. Where Anakin had to, like, perfectly combine the light side and the dark side to save Ahsoka and Obi-Wan at the same time. But like the gray side, like, you know, I see the light and the dark. Like, these are the extremes. These are your libtards and your conservatives. Well, no, your libtards right. And your Alex Joneses.
Right? There you go.
You gotta find. There's gotta be something in the middle, and so that's what I find super interesting about this. Maybe in all this time, Luke has been like meditating or whatever. He's discovered this kind of gray side of the Force. And like I said, that's kind of been explored a bit in Rebels. But yeah, this is really cool. This actually makes sense because like I forgot who said it, but like Obi-Wan, you know, was like finding a new hope or whatever. And like Luke is that new hope, but not necessarily in the sense that he saved the Empire sorry. Like Anakin is the chosen one.
Yeah.
Right? Anakin is the chosen one. He was chosen to, both give birth to Luke and, well, him basically being the chosen one is essentially that Anakin and his actions basically lead up to Luke being risen up, right? Mm-hmm. And becoming a Jedi and defeating the Emperor and all the darkness. And everyone thinks like, and Obi-Wan thinks like this is what bringing balance to the Force is, right? Well, maybe that's not the case. Maybe bringing balance to the Force is getting rid of the light and the dark side and just having the Force, right?
Oh, I never even thought of it that way.
And maybe it's just taken Luke an extra 30 years to get to this point.
That's
Rey is the one that's really kind of like bringing it together, I guess.
Yeah.
She's like the final piece in the puzzle.
That's very possible. Yeah, that's an interesting theory, actually. I'd never considered that, but I'm going to have to tell that to Danny next time I see him. But
Danny.
I've never told anybody about Danny.
We've never talked about Danny, had he?
No, we'll talk about him later. What?
I just want to mention, to give people a little tidbit for when we eventually do talk about him more in depth. This is one of Jonathan's schoolmates, I guess.
IRL buds.
And he has a... well, you can tell him about the album that he has.
Well, we'll get into who Danny is later on a podcast. I'm sure he'd probably be... We could probably talk about it because he doesn't have social media. He doesn't.
I don't care about that. I just want to give the people a little tidbit, much like this Force Awakens.
I was just saying
much like this teaser.
No, yeah, I was just saying like we should be fine to talk about Danny, right? Because he's never gonna find out. But no, Danny is a special boy. I've known him since like 4th grade. He's always been a bit odd, and he's followed me and Adele around for a while, and we just kind of talk to him because we feel bad for him, but he's just so weird. And I remember one time I actually told Alex this, and I showed Alex this because I have a video. Danny keeps a book comprised of murdered children. Okay, let me say that one more time. Murdered children. Okay, he keeps a book of murdered children with him. It's just like comprised of like all these kids that have been murdered as kids. You know, and like all their names,
or of like,
like
gone missing and never popped up. You know
what?
Or of like gone missing and have never been
found,
right?
Yeah. And I don't know why. Like it's just so random. Like nobody does this. And like since I knew Alex wouldn't believe me, I took a video of it and I sent it to him. And I believe I still have the video.
Yes, you do.
And yeah, I showed it to him not too long ago again because it is just insane. It's remarkable. Because like I've never met anyone like this. And Danny, oh man, there are so many stories I could tell about this kid.
Danny and I will. And the thing is, like, he has an encyclopedic knowledge of, like, he sees the face, he's like, oh yeah, this is like Clara Johnson. She was found in a barrel outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma on April 31st, 1987. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I try to keep my distance from Danny, but like, no, I've got tons of stories about him that I could probably tell in future podcasts. Next time he does something outrageous, I can probably tell it here and stuff. I think that'd be fine. But he hasn't done anything recently that I can really say. But the reason I said I would tell him about that Star Wars thing is because he's a big Star Wars fan. And, we could probably have him on the show sometime. That'd be great.
Don't make promises you can't achieve.
Oh yeah, because we've been saying we're gonna have Alex Jones on the show since day one.
Well, that's more realistic, I think.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I mean, think about it like this. For Danny to be on the show, well, I guess we can Skype him. I don't know why I was thinking that, like, he had to come over to your house or something. I'm like, wait a minute, you know?
He's wanted to come to my house before. Here's a little tidbit from Danny, anyone still listening out there. Danny actually he's really obsessed with fan edits, like for movies, for whatever reason. And he wanted me to help him edit a film, what was it, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think, the new one. He wanted me to, since I know how to edit, he wanted to come over to my house with the movie, like illegally downloaded, and he wanted us to edit out all the bad parts and make it into a good movie. And I was like, well, Danny, why, first of all, and where are you going to be putting this? He's like, I'm not going to be putting this anywhere. I'm going to be keeping this for myself. I'm like, what? So I'm going to be spending like hours like editing a movie just for you to watch at your own pleasure? And he's like, yeah.
We need to have just an entire episode about the characters we've encountered.
Oh, God. Oh, we're doing that next week.
We'll do that next week if nothing else prominent.
If there isn't some major event that happens over the next week, we're going to do that, because we could talk for a long time about that.
Yeah.
But speaking of major events, before we move on to Instagram stuff, do we want to go ahead and run by like the stuff that happened in Afghanistan?
Yeah, we can do this pretty quickly. I just have a few short thoughts on it.
Yeah, me too. Basically, if you didn't know, which you probably do know at this point, we recently dropped what they call a MOAB, which is for short, Mother of All Bombs. It stands for something else. I forget what it was. It's
like multi something air blast.
Yeah, but they just call it MOAB for Mother of All Bombs for short, I guess. And because it's the most powerful non-nuclear weapon America has. So anyone has, really?
Ever. Okay. Yeah, period. It's the largest non-nuclear bomb ever created.
Yeah, and it also costs $314 million to produce.
What? I thought it was 16.
Yeah. No. It's $314 million.
All right.
I'm pretty sure. Let me go ahead and check.
Well, maybe that includes like R&D and stuff.
I think it was $314 million.
Because I feel like, just the raw, because like I think a lot of that money is R&D. Maybe, I don't know, because
it was.
Tested it once. They've tested it once in 2003, and this is the first time it's ever been used in a combat scenario.
Yeah, 304. Oh wait, what? Okay, here we go. From Business Insider, the U.S.'s massive ordnance air blast, is what it's called, bomb, does not cost $314 million or $16 million. Huh.
Okay.
But $170,000.
Oh well, that's probably just the assembly.
Oh, just the bomb itself? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, 314 probably includes stuff like, transporting it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where the 314...
R&D, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, whatever. I'm looking at... Either way, it was an expensive bomb. Okay, so...
Very expensive.
Just go ahead and throw that one out there.
Fairly expensive, yes.
But I'm not going to feel any remorse for the ISIS fighters that we killed here. We bombed a very desolate area of Afghanistan, being sure to avoid any innocent civilians that could have been affected in this blast, which I think the blast was like a mile of impact, or whatever.
It was pretty big. Yeah, it was
like that.
If I remember correctly, they had built like a network of underground tunnels and stuff.
Yeah, and we wanted to bomb the tunnels.
Yeah, so we wanted to bomb the tunnels, and I think something like 100 were killed.
No, only 36 were killed.
No, that was recently raised like this morning.
Oh, it was? Oh, good.
To like 97 or something, I think.
All right. Okay. I guess,
they were killed. The interesting... But yeah, people are freaking out about this. I mean... It's
not that much to freak out about.
It has, I think, something like 16... Not even a kiloton. 16 tons of force, I think.
Yeah.
Just for, comparison, the bomb we dropped on Hiroshima, I believe, that was a something kiloton bomb. Yeah. And a kiloton is 1,000 tons. And, of course, a ton being... 2,000 pounds of TNT.
Yeah.
So this one was only like 16 tons, I believe. So, when compared to a nuclear bomb, it's not that great. it doesn't have the pure destructive force, and it also doesn't have the radiation fallout, but it's very destructive on its own.
Definitely.
Especially considering the fact that this is only like one of them,
Yeah, that is true.
And also people are figuring out like, oh, this is super destructive, but like a B-52, which is like a general bomber plane, can drop like something like I don't know, 60 bombs, 61,000-pound bombs at once. So I mean, in terms of like pure destructive power, it's not really that great, but it sends it sends a message to other countries like North Korea and Iran that like we can precisely strike you with military stuff, and it won't have like a large consequence on like a surrounding area like a nuclear strike would.
No, that's why. Yeah, I don't really have a huge problem with Trump doing that. And again, I should also point out, Trump really didn't have a lot to do with this strike. He just signed off on it. He didn't like. Apparently, this has been in the works since the Obama administration. Oh. This was planned. This has been planned for a while. I had heard, and that's why I think it's even more outrageous that there are still people that think Trump should be impeached over this. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
That's extreme.
Yeah.
That's people looking for. That's just people looking for something to impeach Trump.
Yeah,
about.
It's people that already hate Trump. They'll look for anything that might be considered controversial, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is why Trump needs to be impeached. Everybody, get him out of office." So it's just that, shock culture kind of thing. Like, come on, he didn't do anything wrong. Whether or not you agree with it, this is totally legal. I mean, we're not doing this like. It's not like we're violating any sort of agreement or something like that. Like, it's there really aren't a ton of consequences from this if we're not killing like any civilians or anything like that. So I don't really have a problem with it. Again, like the cost is a bit of a factor, but I've noticed a lot of the people criticizing, heavily criticizing the cost of this, said nothing about the cost that went into Obama's drone strikes in the Middle East. But I digress. So whatever.
All right, so shall we move on to Q&A?
Yeah, let me go ahead and, if you want to pull up YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and pull up
I got
it. Instagram.
I don't think we actually got any...
On YouTube?
No.
We may not have. We don't really get usually a ton on...
We get too many.
YouTube. All right, let's see. Talk about Dan's animations. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of inside jokes about the River Nile or whatever. Just don't even.
Yeah, no. Do you ever encounter annoying fans? You have no idea. No, kidding. It happens. I guess. Right.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna sound like total jerks talking.
We have to say like we appreciate people that like want to watch our stuff,
and we have to like and even we have to like step back sometimes and be like, wow, we're actually in great situations here with fans and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I always blame it on like young, quote unquote, young people and stuff. Yeah. But like our line of work tends to attract younger people, generally in the 8 to 14-year-old range for the most part, I'd say.
Usually.
Or rather, let's just say like 14 and younger ish, generally. And sometimes when you're a quote unquote kid, you don't necessarily know how to convey yourself in a way that's maybe considered reasonable or like not annoying, I guess. I don't know. I said, we sound like jerks.
No, but you're right. Like you are right. Like
you don't necessarily have like the developmental skills or have had enough experience in social situations.
That's why I don't hold them against that.
I mean, definitely.
Because they mean well. It's just
always.
There are some people that can get irritating, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not gonna like treat them bad if they're actually like, if they're trying to be nice. Like, why would I treat them bad or anything like that?
It's just like when it's just sometimes when they come off as like really blunt in something because they don't necessarily put the finesse into it, like do this, do that kind of thing. But we have to keep in mind that they're kind of demanding this kind of stuff because they like our content, right?
Yeah, it all comes from a good place.
It comes from a good place. It's just kind of like when they're not as blunt, it can be or rather, they're just kind of blunt and straightforward, and it may seem like they're insulting us, but in reality, that's not necessarily their intent. It can seem like, I don't know what I'm saying, but
no, I agree.
Anyway.
It's just they don't really seem to know what they're doing yet because they're a bit young. They haven't had a ton of experiences with interactions and stuff like that, I guess, if they're like 13, So, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Especially on the internet as well.
So, yeah. So, yeah, we definitely encounter some crazy fans every now and then, but...
And we should mention that this is a small minority of our fan bases.
Most of our fan bases
quote-unquote annoying. Most people are fine. They're great, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, and that question, I should also say, is from Andrew Azcona? Yeah. Because we need to make an effort to try to say their usernames. You're usually pretty good with that, but I always forget. Noodle Studios asks, best movie you ever seen?
I don't know. We kind of talked about this last time.
We talked about that with Houston,
didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have one in... I mean, I'm just going to say Empire Strikes...
Empire Strikes Back for me.
That's probably the best.
I don't know. So, but again, that's kind of a nerdy movie. So other than that, I don't really. It's hard to say, I guess. Maybe a Fight Club or something. I don't know. Let's see. Make your own superhero team, DC or Marvel, without any of big mainstream heroes. What?
Interesting.
I don't really know.
He's asking, like, make your own superhero team with, like, minor characters in DC or Marvel.
Oh.
So, like,
I don't know. I have to think about that.
Squirrel Girl.
How many would we want in a team? We gotta consider this, Mr. Ranga Productions. Come on, you gotta be more descriptive. But I guess I put Squirrel Girl in mind.
That's kind of hard to do, just kind of like off the top of your head, because I need like a visual to see. Cause,
exactly. I need like a list, like of people to choose from.
I know a lot of more obscure heroes. I just can't think of them like off the top of my head.
Yeah, especially when we're like doing this not live, but like we're trying to record this. It's not like a ton of editing that goes into this. So, I mean, how many people actually recognize you guys outside of social media? I've been recognized once, and I thought that was pretty amazing. At the this Lego store that I go to, the guy working there asked me if, I guess he recognized by my voice. He asked me if I was Aubrey Studios. So I was like, oh, why, yes. And, so I guess he was just able to tell by my voice because, like, I voiced Batman just with my normal sounding voice. I know you guys didn't know that, but, yeah, so that was kind of amazing. That was a bit unexpected. I didn't know that would happen. And also, I don't know if this counts, but a time when Akash was, I think he was at something with Nick, where they were, because, they meet up sometimes. I think they were at some sort of, like, park. I forget. Like, they were talking to some kids, like, who had recognized them, or Akash, I should say. And one of them asked if they knew me, and I was like, well, isn't that considerate? But hey. Didn't you say someone knew about your channel, though, when you had told them about it? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, kind of. That was with my dad. My dad is part-time. Well, he mostly does limo driving sometimes. So like, he likes to talk with the passengers on occasion. And he was one of the kids of like one of the passengers was talking about how they saw a video on YouTube of the Force Awakens trailer and how it was recreated. Mm-hmm. And my dad's like, oh, is that from Lego Clone Addict? Because that was my name at the time. And he's like, yeah, that guy. So that's not necessarily me getting recognized, but no, but it's that's the closest thing, yeah.
I'd say it counts. And that's from Parkermation Pictures _ I should preface that.
You should preface these names beforehand.
Yeah, you're right. But Deadpool Breaks, talk about how much Jonathan hates J.K. Rowling.
So much. Next question.
A lot. Yes. Logan Dolkin, talk about how you like Pokemon and just stuff in general about Pokemon, like your favorite and least favorite Pokemon. Let's just do that. My favorite Pokemon.
Yours is probably Jigglypuff, right?
Oh yeah, 'cause Skype.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mine is Torterra.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Do you have a least favorite?
Least favorite? Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, I mean, a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon, I just...
Hang on a second. I'm going to have to go. Wait, stop. You're going to have to...
I'm going to keep talking.
Keep going. Yeah, I'll be right back.
A lot of Gen 1 Pokemon are so overrated in my eyes. And I just don't, like, understand. I get there's a lot of nostalgia for them. And I have a lot of nostalgia for Gen 4 Pokemon, so I see definitely where it comes from. Because that's the generation I grew up, mainly with the cards and the anime. I didn't actually play the games because I thought they were, like, cheap, those cheap games that, were, like, low quality that they made just for, like, TV and shows. Like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video game for the DS or whatever. That's what I thought the Pokemon games were. I didn't know, the anime and the card game were based off the show. But yeah, no, Gen 4. So I honestly think so many, the Gen 1 Pokemon many are super overrated. What's the most overrated? I think, I actually kind of like Charizard. I don't know, Lapras. I don't really like Lapras that much, because like I know, especially with Pokemon Go, Lapras was pretty powerful, but I don't know. I never really liked Lapras's design too much, and people just like love it to death. So I'm like, okay, I guess. What other Gen 1 Pokemon are there? Dragonite.
I apologize.
Anyway,
okay, I'm back.
Yeah. So, one of those guys.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your least
do you
favorite?
Yeah. Do you have a least favorite?
Not really. Probably one of the newer ones, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one that looks like an ice cream? No, the one that looks like the nose one. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Nose Pass?
Yeah. I don't like
that. That guy was from Gen 3.
I like it. Oh, I don't like Mr. Mime. There we go.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Mime's weird.
That's my least favorite. Let's see. The Cybernet. Given the choice, would you rather watch a movie you know is terrible for free or not watch a movie at all? I actually like watching
free
terrible
movie.
movies.
Yes, thank you.
Terrible movies are great to watch. They're kind of fun.
The
Especially
Room.
if it's with somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd be fine with that.
It's just like when those. Yeah.
What?
Okay, go ahead. It's just like when those movies are boring. It's like
that's
when you can't really like laugh at how bad it is. It's just like
that's kind of how I was for Sausage Party.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot to make fun of. It was just not funny. That was all it was.
Yeah.
Whereas 50 Shades of Grey, I could actually make.
Oh yeah, you can make fun of all the kinds of stuff. And Fate of the Furious.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
When you eventually see it, it's so much fun.
Totally Nano Man says, talk about how Sean Spicer got told to step down from the press secretary by the owner of the Holocaust Museum.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, that's. I had heard. I think you're referring to the Anne Frank organization, not the Holocaust Museum. I don't think that's the same thing.
Because like, didn't Sean say like, well, at least Assad didn't, or no, at least Hitler didn't intentionally use it on his own people.
He said not even Hitler used gas on his own people.
Which is
everyone's like, hey,
no.
come on, Sean Spicer's an idiot. Like you really don't you really expect him to say something like intellectual at this point? Like come on, like this is to be expected. He slipped up when talking. He shouldn't have mentioned Hitler. Yeah, he's an idiot. He probably shouldn't have done it. But like, that's not like a reason for him to step down. I still just don't see it. Like,
it's taking attention away from like more serious issues.
Exactly,
like
it's
Syria
taking away
itself
from Syria, and I've actually like it's like wow, you guys could be. And then I actually saw other like very leftist media groups. I forget which one it was, but like saying that he was a Holocaust denier.
Whoa.
Like okay, so you're taking. So that's a lie in itself, but you're taking what he said, which is already wrong, and making it wrong again. Like, why? Why can't you just report the truth? Like, what? He's already messing up.
It's sensationalism. It's to get clicks or to get views because it's got the fan. It's clickbait.
Yeah.
It's clickbait, except the article itself is not clickbait, but the information is. The information they're providing is clickbait.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Never get your news from one source. Try and get it from multiple sources if you can.
That's the thing. Like people are always like, "Oh, CNN's fake news, but Fox is great." You're like, no, just get your news from like everywhere, and then form an opinion of your own.
See what overlaps. See what
You can draw out
of it. Yeah. Try and get as few partisan sources as possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep moving.
Harvey Gouch 1 asks, Adam West Batman or George Clooney Batman?
Adam West all the way. I don't really care for the bat nipples too much. Or the bat. Put it on my card, though. That is, I do find that funny.
No, Adam West is amazing.
Adam West is much more amusing.
Yeah, he's great. Discuss the Nile River.
No, that's a meme.
Oh man, if one Tie Fly Productions asks the best questions. Oh well, Mama, if one religion was real, what religion do you think is most likely to be real? I feel like it'd be great if we started off the podcast with one of his questions, because we could talk about, like,
he always has some
for like an hour.
Like this.
Why is it always like at the end when we find like the best stuff? Do we want to answer that, or do we just...
man, I'm just trying to think.
Scientology!
What's just like one religion that just seems like the least ridiculous?
The most reasonable. I don't know, not Islam. I'll tell you that.
So, I mean, I guess Christianity.
I guess they're probably.
There's probably something that's less like. I don't have that wide. My knowledge of the wider religions. I don't know. Probably some kind of like spiritual tribe religion in the middle of Africa. One of those, I'm sure, where it's like the trees are spirits or something, or maybe some kind of like. Maybe like Hindu yoga stuff kind of thing.
Maybe like a form of Christianity or something. I don't know. Let's see.
Buddhism,
and he also asks, who are some brick filmers that you dislike?
Well, I've gone on record multiple times before and saying I don't really like Lincoln Pop.
I don't like Lincoln Pop. He's a nice guy. I don't like his content.
Yeah, nothing against him personally. I just don't really like his videos too much.
I don't like Akash. Everyone knows that at this point. He knows that. Who else? I don't like.
I'm not actually. I mean, I don't actively dislike him, but I don't like Brotherhood Workshop, I guess.
Yeah. You said that in the last one. I was like, okay, I guess. I don't really have an opinion on him.
I just don't.
I don't like. I don't know if she would count as the brick filmer, but she's done stop motions. I really hate the Brick Queen a lot. I don't know why. She just really gets under my skin. I don't really have a good reason for hating her. I just do, I guess. Let's see. I'm trying to.
Well, so much for getting Brick Queen on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was gonna happen. Who else? Like, there really aren't a ton that I dislike.
I mean, just in terms of his pure content, for the most part, D. Tenaglia, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, he just released
He's a nice guy, though.
He actually just released a trailer recreation of the Star Wars scene. It actually turned out really well. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
So, seeing what he can do, it just makes it more kind of, I guess, I don't want to say sorrowing, but kind of more, well, for lack of a better term, saddening, I guess. That like he's forced himself up until this point to like dumb down his content. Well, dumb down in terms of like quality, I guess, because he has the potential to like make really good stuff. It's just that
he's got the following for it. We've talked about this in episode 2.
Yeah. Anyway, we've talked about that plenty. So
yeah. So those are just a few.
As a guy, that was great. Yeah.
Thoughts on the man being dragged off the plane in Chicago? We already talked about this. Do you think it was just? No. Do you think that this is true police brutality?
I mean, it was pretty stupid what they did. I don't
know. I think this is an airline issue, not necessarily police.
From what I heard, United just told them to get him off the plane. And I guess they took that as drag him through the thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they told him to get him off the plane, then he's gonna do what they told him. So I'm not gonna blame him fully. I think.
Well, I mean,
it was
the process that they use wasn't specified. I think it's kind of like 50-50 on that part, you know. Like, United could have been a bit more clear and like, okay, please don't make this a bad PR disaster.
Right, but they handled it so poorly. Like, after it happened,
but nobody's gonna care. In a week, nobody's gonna think about it again. You're right.
Yeah.
Because it's United and they're a massive conglomerate and they have monopolies.
They don't care. People are gonna keep flying them. Like I said, it's just whatever's cheaper. Who
cares?
Fly
the friendly skies.
Do you think? I already said that. Keep in mind he walked off that plane bleeding. Yeah.
Well, he walked back on that plane, so.
But let's keep in mind that this guy is gonna get
He's gonna get
a lot of money also
$1 million.
as well. He's gonna be fine. Okay, so this
He'll be fine.
Let's not make him the victim here. I mean, well, he was the victim.
It didn't look like. I don't think he had any serious injuries. So
no, he'll be fine.
no, Siri, I didn't say anything.
God, Siri,
Jeez.
what a typical woman. Let's see. Do aliens exist? If so, do you think the government is working with them? From CR.
I mean,
Hatsis. Okay.
just the pure odds of some kind of higher being, or not higher being, but like other intelligent life out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be intelligent, just like life out there. The odds are stacked to the point where it's like yes, basically, you know.
Yeah, it's possible. It's very possible.
Yeah, very possible.
But I don't think the government's working with them. I wouldn't say that. I don't think Trump's that smart. You know.
Yeah, I don't
pull that off. So there's that. But I do think there is life out there, either just waiting to be discovered, or I don't know if we have discovered any or not. The whole Area 51 thing, which I don't know.
Roswell.
Yeah.
We gotta build a wall to keep out the real aliens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Only one group of aliens concerns me.
We gotta basically just like create the Dyson sphere kind of thing and just like surround the entire Earth in like a sheet of metal.
Yeah.
Or no, just a giant like glass ball.
Yeah. Would have worked. Let's see. Discuss the Nile River. No. Upcoming 2017 movies. Again, episode was Houston. Our own fans don't listen to our shows.
Technically we did 2018 movies for that one.
Oh, that was? Okay, whatever. 2017
All right,
movies.
well, let's look it up, I guess. I mean, all the superhero stuff, Thor.
Emoji movie.
Emoji movie, that's going to be fun.
Which, I want to point out, the Emoji movie, which everyone knows is going to be horrible, but they haven't even, this movie comes out in August, and we don't even have anything more than like a 30-second teaser for it. We have no idea what they're going to do with this.
This movie's going to
be great.
So bad.
I can't wait. Oh my god.
Actually, no, we actually have talked about this before. I am almost positive.
I think we have, because like I remember looking up the movies.
Yeah.
That's why we probably talked about that in the first episode.
Yeah, I think so. So let's not do that.
Yeah. Well, there's the Emoji movie, so there we go. Yep. That's from SB Films 814, if I didn't say that before. Can you go over scenarios that you would consider violations of academic integrity?
Okay. Oh, this is from my friend Donovan.
Oh.
And there are two. I think there are two more questions that he asked.
Yeah.
So like remember? Did
integrity.
I tell you about? Oh, okay. So we took the PSA. Did I tell you about? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you said
I mentioned that earlier in the podcast.
Silly goose.
The PSAT stuff. So like during some of the lectures that we had, we were just so bored out of our mind. What they did for these lectures basically is that they had like a speaker and they shoved everybody into the gym and they set up some tables and chairs and they grouped us up by last name. His last name is BR and I'm BU. So so naturally, we're sitting pretty close to each other and we're friends. I actually saw Fate of the Furious with him. And so we were talking, one of the lectures they had was on academic integrity and like, if we catch you cheating, here's what's going to happen and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're caught 3 times cheating, then you're basically not going to go to college or something.
That's
basically what they said.
And
they have this thing where like, all right, so what are you supposed to do if you catch people cheating? And what they have is by like this weight room that we have in our school, they have this empty locker that has like safe to tell written on it, and you're supposed to like write down if you saw someone cheating, and it's supposed to be anonymous. But there's a security camera looking directly at the thing. So and they were going over that thing. And also, that's why he asked something like, "Do you practice academic integrity?"
Yeah. And
what was the third thing he asked?
Do you use the safe to tell box at school?
Yeah. And then, can you go over scenarios that you would consider violations of that?
Okay. Now I get it. But
yeah.
All right.
That was a little meme.
Yeah. Classic Donovan, I guess.
Yep.
Let's see. Discuss every river but the Nile.
No.
I'm tired of these questions, boys. Ask Jonathan how he got so many popular YouTubers like Al Hugany and Forrest to voice in his videos.
You're popular and you asked.
I guess. Well, I wasn't even that popular when I got Forrest or Alhigany really back then.
Well, I mean, you had a substantial enough following, and you presented yourself in a way where it's like, okay, this guy is clearly not just, some rando kid, right?
Yeah, and I guess because I also got another question on Twitter actually from somebody, which I can go check, but I don't want to, asking how I met I Hate Everything, and I guess that would also be true there as well with him.
You just asked.
Yeah, I just kind of asked, and he's like, yeah, sure. He's been in 3 videos of mine, so he's pretty great. And he's actually been in one of Seb's videos too.
I do think a key part of that though is the following, because it shows
totally.
that you're clearly doing something that people
you want to make sure you're
enough, and you're not just making garbage content.
Yeah, you want to make sure before you ask big people like that, you want to make sure that you have like a substantial amount of subscribers and viewers, and then you want to present yourself in an articulate way to the point where you sound professional, and then this guy must be really good at what he does. I'm gonna help him out, and then it just kind of goes from there. So, and then they're more likely to
even just to the point where it's like, oh well, this guy isn't just stupid,
that's pretty much it, and that's and then they're more likely to even voice act for, if you do a good job with the video they're in, and you do a good job working with them in general, then they're a lot more likely to voice act for you again in the future, which I think Forrest, Alhigany, and I Hate Everything all have done. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, which I guess you do by now, but I Hate Everything finally sent the lines, so now it's confirmed 100% that he will be voicing Kite Man. So last week I didn't know for sure if he was gonna send them because it had been a few days, but now we know.
I can't like comment on how maybe that perspective might be different for someone with like 8,000 subscribers.
Well, because I've never voiced most of the characters yourself, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
that's kind of great.
And the people that I do ask to voice act are usually within arm's reach, like people like Rob and Jackson that are usually that are up for like voice acting to like get themselves out there, and get practice. As well as just like friends I have, like you or Jeremy or whoever's available.
Darren, Zach. But
Zach.
That's how it's done. SB Films A14.
Maybe I actually for the longest time I was considering making a Nightwing video, and I would have asked Danny Shepard from Ismahawk.
He probably would have done it.
He probably would have. I just never got around to actually committing to make that video.
Yeah, and again, there's some voice actors. Wait, what?
So I've just never like tried asking. So.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I guess I've never really had the reason to. So yeah.
You'd be really surprised how many people you could get just by asking. Like it's honestly kind of surprising who would.
A lot of people are super up for it.
Email them,
especially people that aren't necessarily in the like filming, animation, voice acting kind of crew in the first place.
Yeah.
People like vloggers or maybe even gamers.
Yeah, you just have to not be afraid to ask them is the thing.
Right.
They're usually very likely to do it if they're not busy. That's the only thing, is that if you can get through to them and just if their schedule works out. Those are the two biggest things. Other than that, there's really no other reason that they would say no. Like, I even asked iDubbbz a while ago, and he emailed me back. Like, did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he was like, I asked him if he wanted to play Hawkeye, actually, in Justice League vs. the Avengers. And he said he wanted to, but his schedule just didn't allow it at the time. But he wants to help out at some other time, he said. Again, this was back when he was a lot smaller, but I thought that was kind of cool. So it's like, just if you're debating whether or not to ask somebody because you're not sure if they're going to shoot you down or not, just ask them. Like, and if they say no, then whatever.
Then
just move on.
There's no harm, no foul.
Yeah, there are some people that I'd like to get, for upcoming Batman episodes as guest stars. I think we've discussed Colossal is Crazy would be pretty cool for Ra's al Ghul. We want to get, we'd like to get somebody. I haven't told you about this, but I kind of want to get like, me and Alex are planning on making a Killer Moth video later in the series or this season. We want to get someone who's kind of like a high-pitched voice. We were going to say iDubbbz, but now that he's got over 4 million subscribers, that may be a little difficult. So I was thinking maybe someone smaller, like, like Elvis the Alien, or like maybe even Chris Reagan or someone like that kind of has a voice similar to that might want to do it. Like, that's pretty easy to contact. So who knows? Just kind of ask around and like, be surprised who says yes.
And like just asking in the first, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no. You know? It's not like
Who cares,
if they are mentally stable, they're not just gonna like go all over Twitter and be like, wow, look at this loser trying to get me divorced.
In fact, that's one of the.
Most
there
people
are, some people
are really cool about it. Yeah.
There are some people I wouldn't ask, like Keemstar, because I don't know what he would do. But
I honestly think he'd do it. I think he'd do it. I want to get him in. I want to get him in a video. Yeah.
Should we try getting? Who would he play?
I don't know. Some meme.
Himself.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd do it? Like, honestly, and I think his fan base knows how psychotic he is. That if he went on Twitter and started ranting about it for whatever reason, it'd be fine.
Weren't we thinking for Justice League versus the Avengers? Like during that scene of like
we were actually considering
the news commentators.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, for Justice League versus the Avengers, during the whole news scene, we were gonna get Keemstar to be in there, mixed in with all the journalists talking about drama, like on Drama Alert, talking about Batman and Iron Man having a feud. And it was going to be voiced by actually Keemstar. But then the only reason that we didn't do it is because at the time of me making the video, he steps down from Drama Alert, which everyone thought was like a permanent thing. So I just kind of cut it out of the script entirely. And then he came back to Drama Alert afterwards. I'm like, okay, well that's great. I could have used it anyway, but
you can't stop the Keem.
No, Keem.
Use code Keem for 10% off.
I love. He's probably my favorite person I follow on Twitter. I just want to point that
he's great.
Did you follow him back? Because I know you unfollowed him.
No, he tweets too much. I can't.
I love his tweets. It's so entertaining. It's so great. All right, but let's see. We're almost at the end here, but
yeah.
What's your favorite all-time band? Smash Mouth, I guess. What about you?
My one's Blur. Oh, Blur! They did a song too. Woohoo! And I feel heavy metal. Yeah, that's cool. This is from British Profanity.
Yeah, British Profanity.
I don't think it's a secret that my favorite band is Coldplay.
Yeah, I think people know that at this point.
A lot of people know that, though. I really also enjoy. Who else? I like Paramore. I like who's that one guy that like he's a womanizer? He's like
me.
No, what's his name? He's got a voice that's like so for flying everywhere.
I know who you're talking about, but I forget his name.
I really like a lot of his songs.
Yeah, he's good.
What's his name? Oh God,
I don't know.
It's a pretty bland name as well. Wait.
We won't think it.
Heartbreak Warfare. What's his name? It's pretty bland. John Mayer. John Mayer.
Yeah, there we go.
He's hot.
There we go. Yep. That sums that up.
And also as emo as I am, I do quite enjoy Panic at the Disco.
Yes, I like Evanescence or whatever.
Evanescence.
Evans. I've only seen it written. Yeah.
Before my eyes.
It looks like it says Evanescence. Anyway.
Okay. Continue.
I love the goofy version. And to end everything, here we're at about 2 hours. Looks like Logan Dolkin wants us to sing the Pokemon theme song.
Right,
do you know it, Alex?
Yeah, I'm well aware of it. All right, let's pull up some music here because I don't think I can do it just like without any music.
Oh yeah, here we go. We're going like that, like what we do in the credits to some of the videos, like Suicide Squad. Whatnot, Teen Titans.
We don't want to do the full version because nobody cares about that. Pokemon theme song, regular. How come these are all like 3-minute versions?
I don't know.
Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em.
First intro. Here it is. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Here, I'll send you a link. Oh, do you have it?
Oh, I have the lyrics pulled up. I don't need the music, but in fact, you could just add. What if we just recorded it with just us doing it, and then you add the music in post?
Yeah, no. That's what I'm gonna do. It's just that it's just like I want to be able to like keep up with the rhythm of the song. All right, fair enough. You know.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
So do you want it then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're very professional here at the Blockheads.
10 out of 10. This is the best podcast ever. I might cut all this part out.
If you're still listening this far in on episode 6, you don't expect you shouldn't expect any more, honestly.
Yeah, we broke the 2-hour mark, so this is excellent.
Yeah, this is pretty much it. We always say, like, oh, this one's going to be shorter, and then it's just, like, always the same length.
It never is.
Time, but...
Though, to be fair, I think with the amount of topics that we had this time, we actually did pretty well in terms of time.
Yeah, we could have talked about some of the stuff that we talked about for a lot longer if we wanted, but we don't want it to go too long, so.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, here we... Also, before... yeah, okay, just never mind. All right, let's go ahead and go. All right, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
Catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
Boo-doo-doo.
I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. These Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
It's you and me.
I know it's my destiny. Pokemon,
Oh, you're my best friend. In a world we must just friend.
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
So true.
The courage will pull us through.
You teach me and I'll teach you.
Pokemon,
Gotta catch 'em
all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
Yeah! Subscribe to Clash League production.
Subscribe to him.